Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is December 31st, 2020 as per this upload, which means it is the last day of the calendar year of 2020 and the final video that I'm going to put out for the year, which is exciting. And all the better, we'll be starting off 2021 with a summon session for New Year Plumeria, which is so great. Thrilled about that. But either way, you know, I wanted to start the video. We'll get into the actual content in just a second. But I wanted to start the video at least by expressing some appreciation for you and just the year in general. Because although the year was bad, and it was bad. It was bad. All right? There's no getting around that. Sweet Naga, it was just the worst. Okay? Collectively, individually, I think we've all had very negative experiences in 2020. But 2020 did give me a lot of time that I otherwise might not have had. I was lucky enough to work from home for the most part. I wasn't furloughed, thankfully. You know, I had more time to live stream so I could interact with you guys in real time. I had more time to read comments. I had more time to reply to tweets. I had more time to play games and just, you know, take time for myself if I needed to. It was good. There was a lot of bad, but there was a little bit of good. And I don't want that to go unrecognized. And I don't want you all to go unrecognized either. I am incredibly dumbfounded and grateful that we have hit 7,000 subscribers on this channel. That is a lot of people. That's like a lot of people, you guys. And I know it's like minuscule to some of the other YouTubers and things like that, but when I stopped making the content that I was and just started doing stuff that I liked, I didn't anticipate for anything to grow like it did, and so I'm just kind of taking it a day at a time at this point. Until we hit 10,000, and in which case I'm going to get YouTube stories, and I don't know what I want to do with those, but I want to do something with them. Either way, if you are subscribed to this channel, thank you. If you regularly leave comments, thank you. If you know, tweet at me or start conversations or just take part in this weird, wonderful community that I have lucked into creating, thank you. 2020 was terrible, but this wasn't so bad. Us here, this was okay. And if it was a safe haven for you or a distraction for you or just you got angry at me because you could, if it helped you somehow this year, thank you. Because I know that you're not alone, and you have in turn done the same for me, which is probably a pretty good interlude into what this video is about. So, let's jump into that. This is not only the last video of the year, but another excuse to use this little fireside thing that I have that I only really use in the winter months. And evidently it still has stockings, so that's unfortunate. But I wanted to go and look at my favorite units of the year. Anything that got released in 2020, my time, which is basically New Year's up through the newest newest legendary hero. And as I was going through, I was thinking maybe I should do like a highlights or something. But that ended up just being reaction videos to these units anyway. So I figured, hey, what if I just did like a mini barracks tour almost, but talked about the units that helped get me through the year, both in the game and just as a distraction to everything terrible that was going on in the world. And then I thought that's a great idea. So let's do that video. And if you want to join in, be sure to pay attention to the very end, because that is where we can get a little interactive, as it were. So, to start off, the year got kicked off with New Year Anna, which was incredible. I was never really expecting Anna to get any alts, but it just so happens that we kicked off the year with one. And I distinctly remember it getting data mined, and I was very upset that I couldn't have like a genuine reaction to it because it was just so damn good. Um, Everything from the art to the play style to I love bows. I secretly love bows. I know I always talk about blue tomes, but I secretly really like bow units. But I've always got really bad luck with them. And this Anna, actually, I finished her on a double special that was earlier in the year. And I needed 2 copies. And she was sharing a color with Spring Eden. And I ended up getting 13 copies of Spring Eden before I got the final of 2 copies that I needed of Anna. Yeah. So, yeah, it was very painfully fought. I won't deny that. Coincidentally, this is the year I spent probably the most on Fae. But thankfully, to you lovely people who watch my ads on videos, or if you're a member and you support me directly in that way, thanks, because you helped me not go into poverty, which was great. Not that I'm advocating for that. I'm gonna stop talking now. Hey, you know who else was really cool that got into the game? Wrath. This was one of the few times where I was like, oh, okay. So we're gonna do that now, are we? With 4-star units. Splendid. I was so jazzed that he was on this banner, and for him to be a 4-star on top of that, because let's be honest, okay? Even though 4-stars don't come with great kits, if they're a favorite, you just want to plus 10 them and give them everything nice anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And that's what happened here. I still don't have the Spendthrift bow that I would like to give him. Maybe someday. Maybe there will be a fancy seasonal weapon. Maybe he'll get the preferred at some point. I don't know. But guard bow is as good as it gets for right now. Someday he will get the splendors of a good bow. But for now, it's just guard. I guess we could put brave bow on him, but I'm just not happy with it. And he's actually in my Ether Raid's defense now, which is fun. But when Wrath came out, who was admittedly like a personal favorite of mine, a fan favorite according to Choose Your Legends, it was really awesome. And to have him at a 4-star on top of it on a banner that was genuinely really good, I was super thrilled. So I actually plus 10'd him probably the fastest of any unit I've ever plus 10'd. Having him at 4-star rarity was definitely helpful for that. And if you haven't noticed, we are going in order. So these are in no special order. They're just, chronologically from release date. Next up, we had Ike, who is Fallen, who we are 1 away from a plus 10. I'm waiting for his banner to roll back around on the revival for Forging Bonds. This is pretty much the build that I want to give him, and so that's what I gave him. He's absolutely insane. Surprisingly enough, I actually only pulled 3 of him while he was on focus. Everything else has been just an off-focus break that I've gotten from pulling on reds. Because red units are always the best for some reason in this game, like 7 out of 10 times. And he just has a way of finding me. I don't know. Even as I was going for Altina, more Altina merges on the winter banner, I got another Fallen Ike. Like, I don't know what it is about Ike, but I love Ike. He is by far my favorite lord in all of Fire Emblem history. I am a proud Ike main in anything Smash Bros. Related that he is available to play as. And I mean, there's paper art of him on the back of my wall. Like, I'm fanatical for the most part. And this is really cool because I distinctly remember talking about in my predictions video for Fallen Heroes this year. There's a little bit of lore about the medallion and what it might do if somebody touched it, and I was like, maybe we'll get a Fallen Ike. There's a cipher art for it. Lo and behold, we ended up getting that. This one, and you'll notice there are 2 brides on this one because the bride banner this year was just bonkers. Oboro, of all the units that I wanted to get alts this year, Oboro and May were probably towards the high end of that hope. I didn't really expect any of them to get in, to be honest with you. This year was just an absolute smorgasbord for me in terms of units and favorites, but Obro is, to put it lightly, one of the few Fates characters I actually I like for the most part, because she's clothes obsessed and likes to keep things clean, and I just relate to that. So I ended up getting a handful of Bride Obros. I'll probably try and plus 10 her at some point over the next year or so, depending how banners fall. I do not anticipate getting anything I like in the new year. Like, that's how spoiled I was this year. I don't plan on getting anything I like this year in 2021. But maybe. But probably not, but maybe. So, Obro was definitely a favorite of mine that came back. Bride Micaiah, sharing the banner. I don't know which banner reaction I freaked out most in. But this one I distinctly remember when I watched the trailer, and this was a genuine reaction because for a lot of the new heroes and the special heroes banners, I don't know based on the title that's on my screen that what it is, you know what I mean? Like, it might give a hint to the game it's from, but it doesn't really tell me who's on it. This one I was completely in the dark about. I'm not in the dark about all of them, but this one I was, and I remember in the moment not understanding what was happening because there was so much Tellius on the screen, and then you know, there was a duo, and I was like, oh my, is what? And then there was Obro, and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? This was the silhouette that everybody thought was like Sayri, but it ended up being Obro in a hood, and it was very surprising. I did not anticipate seeing. I mean, I figured Micaiah would get an ult because, you know, Tellius, Lord, whatever. But this one, whew, this one was close to making my year. I think I got her plus 10 in under 500 orbs. Like, it was 400 and some change. That was not something that I thought would ever happen. I seem to have really good luck whenever I pull on blue, and I am fine with that. But first of all, getting an ult for Anna, or just any kind of additional Anna in the game, unheard of. Although I guess it already happened with New Year's Anna, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then having it happen months later, after getting an Anna ult and then getting Awakening Anna, which I guess this is as close as I will get to like Shopkeeper, Trickster, Levin Sword Anna, like playable Anna. I will take the secret boss bonkers map Anna that we can get from the Apotheosis map, but yeah, this one was too cool for me to not plus 10. And I had always been looking for like other Lance units, because again, the kicker always seems to be sword units, and this one was honestly not really out of that realm either, because while it's not a sword, it's still a red unit. But I mean, Rhea was here, and if you don't think that I was not gonna go all out for the first appearance of Lady freaking Rhea, then you don't know me at all, and I'm upset about that. But outside of that, luckily it was a very good unit. Again, it was another duo unit. But we did end up plus 10ing her, I think, on the banner that she came back on. Probably would have been a double special. I don't believe I plus 10'd her within her summer banner, but it's possible. I don't remember. Honestly, any time from May up until July, I was beside myself. I mean, if you go back and look at what we have, there is so much that happened between May in July. That was just like, there was so much happening. In addition to, we had a brand new kind of banner that happened, the Pirates banner, which I was pleasantly surprised about. I haven't really done much with Tibarn. I was lucky to get the amount of copies that I did of him, so there's that. But you know, having Dive Bomb was pretty dope. You know, having Gale Force built in, like, he's just a really cool unit, and he drinks what I'm assuming is dark rum, but I can't drink rum, and I imagine that we'd be drinking buddies, so I'm gonna pretend it's whiskey, even though I know that's not the case. So he's drinking whiskey, and I don't know, dude. If I had to pick a favorite beast unit, it's by far Tibarn. Hawk Tribe for life over here. But having him show up on just kind of this oddball banner that was pirates was just absolutely bizarro, and I loved it. And, you know, we'd eventually get something like ninjas too. So I guess what's the next one? Pirates, ninjas. There's got to be something else coming, right? Maids? Is there a maid banner coming? I don't know. But Tibarn showing up was great in August, and then again, same with the wrath of it all. We ended up getting Ileana as a 4-star, and I was like, I don't care what her base kit looks like. I will feed her so many skills, and that's 100% what I did. So this is obviously like a speedy kind of thing, and I'm sorry if I'm not highlighting all of the skills that I happen to give her, or anybody for that matter. There's a lot of skill options, skill sets that we can run. I just, you know, I haven't gone into those, and so I'm not going to start now because that would be unfair to everybody else. But I know that we had Halloween Ileana in the game, and I was like, okay, well, at least she's still a blue tone, but armor's bleh. Then we got base Ileana in the game, and she was a blue tome, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. Now I have the trifecta of best blue tone girls, that of course being Micaiah, May, and Ileana, with an honorable mention to Tailtew. However, I didn't have to worry about it this time, and she was a 4-star, and so, you know, just like Wrath, immediate +10. And it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. Anytime I'm pulling blue, I tend to fare a little bit better than when I'm not. So that was nice. And then probably my favorite prediction this year was predicting Plumeria. I I didn't know if I'd be right, so I went on this whole tangent about how, like, Julia showed up, and like Julia, we had Resplendent Julia show up just before Plumeria got announced, and I made this bizarre connection to Legendary Julia showing up right before Thraseer showed up, which Thraseer died in the book book 3 around the same time that Plumeria did, and I was like, there's something here. And so I wove this bizarre red string theory-esque thing together, and I was just like, if I'm wrong, that's fine, but if I'm right, this is going to be really impressive looking. And so I just kind of doubled down on it, and I have since done another one with whoever Byleth, I think is the last one that I did. But it's not so much about the prediction being right, it's about weaving a good story, and that video in particular is the one where I was like, I'm going to make this more about the story and less about the actual, like, evidence or, you know, gut check that I have about this. And then I just put Plumeria all over the thumbnail too. So that it was, if I had to pick like a favorite video that I've done this year, that definitely ranks in the top 3. Yeah, definitely in the top 3. I think my favorite is probably the I Messed Up video, which you may or may not be familiar with. It was a pretty epic troll in response to a squeaky mic issue, but anyway, we'll move on. So Plumeria, you know, there's not really many mythics or legendaries that I was jazzed about this year, but that one in particular, I was like, yes, that is the OC that I care about right now. Currently, I am all about whatever green-haired Valkyrie is showing up in book 5. Like, I'm just here for it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And then finally, the last unit that, frankly, I gave a damn about this year would have been Winter Altina, because I love the myth. Like, if you haven't played the Tellius games, I understand why you don't think Tellius is all that cool. But if you understand like some of the back lore on the game and just how rich it actually is, the potential that's there for like a prequel alone is pretty darn solid. And so anytime that gets brought up, whether it's like Fallen Ike or Altina, who is, you know, dual wielding Ragnall and Alendite, I'm here for it, okay? I don't care about Sonic. I like Ragnall. That was the entire inspiration behind this +10 story, which just ended. If you follow me on Twitter, you know how hard fought this was. It just ended today. So she's +10. I don't have any more dragon flowers. Otherwise, she would probably get all of them. And I have given her so many skills in the span of 30 minutes because it literally happened like an hour or so ago before I started recording. I was like, well, and I'm going to showcase her. So like, maybe I'll just try and pull and see what I can get. And in 60 orbs ish, I got like my last Altina copy and like 2 Bernadettas and freaking who else did I get? There were other reds that showed up. Oh, Lysithia and Fallen Julia. I was just like, why am I getting these things? Like, please stop. Just give me the last Altina. And it happened. It finally did happen. So I was pretty jazzed about that. This one, this one I will go in and look at because there are some options here. I gave her Gale Force because I was like, there's got to be something fun to do with a Gale Force, right? She attacks twice. Maybe we'll get it to proc somehow. I'm not sure. Twin Blades is what we're currently set to. She's got Death Blow 4. She's got Close Defense 4. She's got Heavy Blade 4, which is currently hooked up. Attack Res Unity. I just want to have options, you know. That's really what I'm here for. Null C Disrupt, but if we don't want to do that, we've got Attack Defense Lull, and then we've got Threaten Attack Defense 3, and then, you know, the vanilla Attack Res Oath, if we ever wanted to run that. But there's some options. I will definitely be playing around with her on stream a little bit, just to see what the builds can do, because I kind of have like an enemy phase, player phase relationship with her, and I don't know which one I like her better in. Which is currently she's kind of in like an enemy phase type build that I would leave her in. But I think this one overall kind of helped me realize that I spent way too much money on Faye this year, which I do not advocate for the record. You should always spend responsibly. But you know, I do pump a lot of what comes in from the channel back into the game so that I can continue to entertain and show you the errors of over orbing on summon sessions, if at all possible. So that was just another. That was a good way to round out the year, though. Like I was genuinely pretty stoked that we were able to get that. And if you look at this, it's mostly Tellius. Like, there's a lot of Tellius on this screen right now. But there, you know, there's some good diversity too. There's a little bit of Fates, there's a little bit of Blazing Blade. You know, we got there's 3 houses somewhere in there. So, you know, this is good. Honestly, though, if it, I'm gonna be real with you all. If it was just dual Byleth with like Sothis, that would not have been a +10 for me. Like, Rhea is what made the +10 happen. So thank you, Lady Rhea. Anyway, those are my 2020 favorites, and if you didn't understand that pun, allow me to show you this graphic. See, I threw this together, and that's why this video is actually coming out a day later, because I wanted to take my time with it and put something like this together. So, I will be sharing this on Twitter. I will have the blank graphic available to you. If you'd like to join in, you are free and welcome to do so as a way to kind of showcase any of the units that you really like that got released this year, or just anything that you used as a distraction within the game, which is mostly what my list was. I was like, oh, yay, COVID, but ooh, look, Summer Rhea. Yay. So feel free to go to the Twitter tweet thing. I'll link it in the description so you don't have to scour my Twitter page. But I'll link you to the tweet that I make on this with the template in it. And you can use it and share it. And if you do, use the hashtag 2020favorites. I definitely did kind of hijack that from the Fire Emblem Heroes social media team with my favorite forma, But I don't care because they're not doing this, and I'm doing their job for them, and so they should be thankful. Darn it. Yeah. So yeah, if you do it on Twitter, feel free to use the hashtag. I know I've seen some of my other templates end up on like Game Press and stuff like that. I don't think templates matter there. So you don't have to add that there. But if you do use it on Twitter, it would be cool because that would allow me to see all of them that come through, because I do want to see them. I want to see what helped get you guys through the year, or just stuff that you enjoyed in a year that kind of sucked overall. You know what I mean? So, listen, that's it. That's all I got for you. This. It was nice, kind of reminiscing. You know, like I said, 2020 has been just the absolute worst. For many reasons, for many different people, it has been the absolute worst. But I wanted to try and find something that helped give me distraction and give me purpose. And when I look back at it, it was making content for you guys, because I knew at the end of the day, there may not have been a lot, but there were some of you who looked forward to my videos, who needed some kind of outlet to use escapism to get away from the real world for just like 10 to 15 minutes a day. And I'm privileged and honored that I was able to do that for you. So, in one last hoorah, before we absolutely say goodbye to 2020 forever, I wanted to do this and get one last interaction with you guys before the year ended. So feel free to make this and share it. That's it. That's 2020. We're done. 2021's coming back with a video tomorrow. I guess. I'm recording this on Wednesday, so it doesn't really feel like it, but it's basically over now at this point. By the time you're watching this, 2021's probably here, or very, very close. We'll have a New Year Plumeria summon session. That's it. That's all I care about. Don't give me no Selkies, I swear. No. And then we'll also have some fun videos planned up based around things like where Choose Your Legends rankings kind of stand now that we've had the winter banner that demolished most of the top 10 on both sides. And then I'll also kind of be taking a preliminary look at A Hero Rises if they decide to do that again, and what we might want to vote for in that. So some cool videos coming up for the rest of the week beyond. So that's it for now. Hey, no matter how many hours you spent with me during 2020, thank you so much. And that is it for me for now. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, so you can come on back for more. And until then, for the final fine in 2020, I will catch you next time.